That's one of y'all quotes.
Do you feel like when an artist reach a certain level in his career, should he move away from his city? Because you know we had lost Dolph, we lost Von, and we lost a lot of artists that passed away in their city. Do you think like when the artist gets to a certain level, he should leave his city or just like move like the president?
No, for sure. Like, I think that growth is natural, you feel me? And if you really want to grow and continue growing, it's almost like you gotta move from your city because your city don't want to see you so big naturally just because they know where you came from. So when you showing them that, it kind of turned the love of them helping you get there to envy of it being like, how he got there and I can't get there. And they can do everything in their power and then never get to the point to get to where you at. So if you amongst those people, it's almost like a slap in the face because they seeing you every day and it goes from idolizing it to envying it. They go from looking up to you to looking at you. And when they looking at you in the wrong light because they can't naturally get what you got because what's for you is for you, what God got for you is for you.
Yeah.
That's just what it is. And it ain't got nothing to do with artistry. It ain't got nothing to do with none of it. It's really just about growth in life.
Yeah.
And I think that becomes like where people get lost because they trying to be a real nigga or a real individual or a stand-up guy. But you could be a stand-up guy and still leave. Absolutely. I could be honest and say when I was a kid, they was tricking me. Oh, don't never leave the hood. Don't ever do this. Don't ever do that because they're stuck and they don't know that they're stuck. So they're going to tell you those things.
Right.
But speaking that into your life, like that ain't what it's about. Like you supposed to travel. You supposed to go see different things.
Absolutely.
You can move to a whole nother country if it's that type of time. But to say that you need to stay in your area and in your neck of the woods and move like this, they're confused, and that's point blank period. They're just confused.
Absolutely. I totally agree that all that old being a real nigga and all that cliche of that, and people get in that matrix mindset of that, that illusion of that shit, and then that's how they lose their life or end up losing the career because they not making the right decisions for, like you say, what God got for you ain't got for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What's set in stone for you ain't set in stone for me. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what it be a lot of the times because the guys be getting confused with where they from and what they got. And it's like, let's be honest, bro. Like, I own homes in other states, not in the city I grew up in.
Right.
My niggas don't own nothing on our block. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, that ain't what this life was about, not to own nothing.
Right,
but sometimes they get caught up in that's what we grew up at and that's what we stood on and that's what we standing for. But it's like they missing that the reason people stood on that and the reason people was doing that originally, because our grandparents, they was owning them houses. Our great grandparents was owning them houses. So if they said they stand there because they owned it, we renting and we borrowing something that we trying to say we should stand on. That don't make no sense. And I'm never gonna act as if it does.
Have you encountered any like hate from people from your city, like close relatives and shit like that? You know
I mean, a lot of the times if it is, I'm not really focused on it or paying attention to it because it's not really affecting my everyday. You know what I'm saying? I feel the love out of situations just because I know I'm doing the right thing. I got my family with me. If they don't like that, I mean, I can't really help them change their mind. They gotta wake up one day and say, he doing what he needed to do for his family. He doing what he needed to do for the city. Like, even when I'm outside of my city, I'm still repping my city. So it's not like I'm just like on some, oh, I don't do this or I don't do that. No, I just got a bigger dream and a bigger picture for my life. So to hate on it, that's just your own personal feelings, and I can't change that about you, and I ain't gonna never try to. I'm gonna let that grow on you like this grew on me. You know, I didn't wake up with this. I had to earn this. I had to go get it.
Now that's real nigga shit. Yeah, that's real nigga. That's real nigga shit though. You know what I'm saying? Like I had to go get it, and nobody give it to me because, like you say, 4 years ago with the iPhone, you could have just, when they said reschedule, you could have went on and went with that plan. But you like, nah, we finna do this right here.
Busy,
we finna get busy.
They don't be knowing time really be money, man.
What's some of the techniques that you use for overcoming like your creative blocks, like having writer's blocks? Or some techniques you use?
No, some of the things that I do is I meditate sometimes. I sit down and like a lot of the times I'll watch like motivational speeches and other people's stories because I think that's a big part of my life when you try to think of how to get over something. A lot of people don't want to look at what other people had to go through to get to where they at. And when you get confused with, oh, did somebody else have to do this or was it this hard for them? You would start second guessing if this was for you or not because you're looking at somebody else's success like, oh, it's just peaches and cream. But a lot of the times, these people be going through real stuff on a day-to-day basis in bad deals and bad situations. But you looking at all the glitz and glamour, all the jewelry, all the cars, all the homes, and all this stuff, and some of this stuff don't be theirs. Some of this stuff be rented. Some of this stuff be borrowed. Some of this time ain't even theirs. You feel me? So it's like when you looking at somebody else's happiness and they on borrowed time, you confused. You need to go watch these interviews and maybe go listen to some motivational speeches because that's gonna turn you up if don't nothing else. To be honest.
Absolutely. What does the MPR stand for?
That's money, power, respect all day and every day.
Money, power, respect, Richie Rich.
Yes.
Yeah, that's dope. That's real dope. What made you come up with that? It's just like that's you.
Nah, we've been doing this since I was probably like 12, 13. Like we came up with this, me and a couple of the guys and some of the family, and it was just like we wanted to separate ourselves from everything everybody else had going on, and we was standing on certain principles and we was living about certain things, so we said we're gonna come up with it. And when I came home, that's what really just made me be like, yo, I'm gonna take it and take it to the next level because I could have chose anything, but I knew what I come from, and I was just like, hey, let me keep wearing this same on my back, you know. So that's what really happened.
That's what's up. So how long did you do? You saying you went to
3 years. I did 3 years.
You did 3 years.
Yep, in Fort Leavenworth.
Federal, yeah. What that crazy experience was like?
That was a life-changing experience. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that, for real, because you got to think, that made me think and move a lot different because I had to know what was real and what wasn't, you know, and I had mentors in there and certain people set me down and just explained to me like, you still got a lot to live for. Some of us got 25 and plus, you feel me? And some of us got 18 but don't want to do nothing and come home, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you got people in there that ain't got but 6 months and they don't really want to come home. That will change your life if you understand their story and understand what people going through.
Hell yeah.
And I just had to wisen up and think about what's really going on an everyday basis. And like I had a family already and I'm already thinking like I need to get right, you feel me? And they just motivated me to do something different and be somebody with myself rather than be another statistic or another number, you know?
Yeah, that's most definitely. You know, I'm gonna definitely ask you the question, love or loyalty, which one? Pick one.
Ooh, that's real tight. I gotta say love because you really don't get loyalty if you don't got no love in it. So love gotta be more powerful, you know? Because if somebody don't love you, they don't know how to be loyal to you. That's real talk.
Because everybody always choose different. Somebody might be saying loyalty. I'm like, why you pick loyalty? They be like, oh no, I gotta do it.
Because everybody got their own reasoning too, so I don't knock why a person think, but that's how I think, you know? I don't think you get loyalty without love, for sure.